Hey everyone. So have you ever stopped to think about why society has this unwritten rule about the perfect age for a woman to get married? It's this idea that's been around forever and it's shaped so many lives. In this explainer, we're going to dig into where that idea even comes from and what it really means.
So let's just get right to it with the big question. Why is it that so often the woman is supposed to be younger than the man? It's a standard so many of us have just accepted, but what are the real reasons hiding behind it? Let's find out.
Okay, to really get to the bottom of this, we first have to look at the official story. The reasons that society gives for why this tradition exists in the first place.
All right, reason number one that gets thrown around is all about influence. The source we're looking at points out this belief that a younger partner is more, moldable, that they're easier to guide and shape. But as you're about to see, this idea of guidance can be a cover for something else entirely.
And there it is. This is where it gets really blunt. The source doesn't pull any punches, showing that this preference for a younger wife is often just about control. The quiet part gets said out loud. The belief is that a younger woman will be less likely to argue or challenge her husband, basically to have her own voice.
So let's move on to the second major reason we always hear. This one shifts away from social stuff and tries to pin it all on biology. The argument goes that a woman's biological clock is ticking, and her main purpose is motherhood, which means, she'd better get married early.
Wow, this quote just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows just how narrowly a woman's entire life can be defined. When being a mother and a homemaker are framed as her only goals, then of course getting married young seems like the only option. It completely dismisses any other dreams she might have for herself.
So when you put these reasons together, what do you get? Well, these aren't laws of nature. They're the result of something called social conditioning. It's basically how we're all trained from a young age to accept certain ideas as normal without ever really questioning them. This whole ideal age thing, it's not a rule. It's just a really powerful habit society can't seem to shake. And you know where this kind of conditioning leads, right? It leads straight to a massive, glaring double standard. The source we're examining points out how society looks at men and women of the exact same age in completely, and I mean completely different ways.
Just look at this. It's kind of wild when you see it laid out like this. A 28-year-old guy? Oh, he's just getting started. He's building his career, he's on his feet, everyone's praising his maturity. But a 28-year-old woman who isn't married? Whoa, the questions start flying. What's wrong with her? Why isn't she married yet? Her past is questioned. Her choices are questioned. It's just a totally different game.
But okay, it's not all doom and gloom. This explainer doesn't just point out the problem and leave it there. It actually offers a really powerful alternative, a new way to think about marriage that's built on a real partnership, not on these old, outdated ideas.
And right here, this is the heart of it. The source asks this really simple but deep question. If you think about it, friendship is the basis for all of our best relationships, right? So why wouldn't it be the foundation of a life partnership? The argument is that a big age gap can actually get in the way of that kind of equal friendship.
So if we just toss out the old rule book about age, what should we be focusing on instead? Well, here are some much better priorities. Things like mutual understanding, a real bond, and, this is a big one, matching maturity levels. It's about building a life on things that actually matter, like shared happiness and, the freedom to choose for yourself.
And listen, this isn't just some nice theory. We see this in the real world all the time. The source brings up great examples of super successful relationships that completely break this rule, like cricketer Sachin Tendulkar's marriage. His wife is actually older than him. It just goes to show that these so-called rules get broken constantly, and often with amazing results.
So after digging into all the social pressure, the double standards, and a whole new vision for what a partnership can be, we're left with one last really important question. At the end of the day, who really gets to decide what is ideal for your life?